Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, children of all ages, guess who's back? It's the gentleman Jack. It's the Midnight Rider. It's the big guy KG. We're doing things a little bit different today. This Friday Eve, we got some things going on. Normally, tomorrow people will be at work, but tomorrow's a holiday. So they're not going to be sitting around the coffee maker. They're not going to be at the donuts. But where they will be is they'll be at the grill. Somebody's going to have the charcoal in the chimney, get it all nice and warm. And then they're going to be talking because little cousins and all them will come up. They're going to say, hey, last night, did you see the show? On YouTube. It's some guys. It's three guys. Jack, Midnight Rider, Big Guy KG. And they do this little show. And they call it the Thursday Night Throwdown. Yeah.
Midnight Rider, man.
Yeah,
That's the best. Hey, baby. Everybody you gotta bear with Midnight Rider. You know, he got some throat issues, some respiratory shit going on. So he doesn't have his normal Thursday night throwdown length on his
right.
announcement there. But I thought it was very solid for your condition, sir. So
Thank
continue
you,
to
sir.
mend. Continue to mend.
Hey, I was in timeout, so and I
I
appreciate it
know.
too.
I just got out. I think I went in the day before you.
Right. But yeah,
It's,
I just wanted to ask you,
dynamic.
gentlemen.
go ahead.
I just want to ask y'all how y'all feeling, man. I'm sorry if I wasn't checking in on you guys as much, but just want to make sure y'all feeling good, man. I wanted to let y'all rest and convalesce. So that's all. But are you feeling good?
I'm better. Like I
Yeah,
said,
go ahead.
this was a what was it? Teradol shot. That's what they gave
Mm-hmm.
me. Little
Yeah.
painkiller to get me through the day.
Yep.
For the
Good old Tordo. It's a hell of a drug.
Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah. So you know, I've had a lot of time to think through my little illness. And like I say, I appreciate you guys checking in. And it just got to a point where it was hard to respond back to everybody and thank all my boys. And some of the folks that heard about it on the show, I got into some stomach illness. Not sure if it was food poisoning or tick bite, but I wasn't feeling good. So, I had a lot of time to think. And through this whole ordeal, man, I lost 11 pounds. I went 6 days without eating nothing but a saltine cracker and a little bit of broth. It was bad. So I've come to the conclusion that my old school body, it's like back in the day, guys, when they had unleaded fuel and unleaded fuel. The old cars took the unleaded. Well, I can't be taking unleaded fuel no more. I got to move up to the unleaded. You know what I mean, everybody. The turkey, the chicken, the fish, ribeye here and there, because I ain't cutting out the red. But you got to take care of your body, everybody. It's the only one you get. And if I had it all do over again, I'm sure I would do it the same way. It was a blast. But if anybody out there, 30-year-olds, continue taking care of your body, man. It's the only one you get. You can replace knees, you can replace shoulders. The rest of your body, you start replacing them things, man, you got problems. So that's my thing to all the people out there. Take care of your body. It's the only one you get. It'll make your older life. I know I'm not that old, but I'm approaching 60, man. Sometimes I feel 75. So I think if I just continue to get some more of this weight off, I, I will perk up a bunch more. So I'm happy as hell to be back. Let's talk some sports, fellas. Let's roll.
All right. KG, you want to start this off?
Well, sure. I started off. First of all, a couple of comments. Daniel said, "Hey everyone, happy Thursday." Uh,
Right,
Joshua Walker, shout out to the Midnight Rider.
right.
Go ahead and read that one, Midnight Rider. I'm driving. I caught the glimpse of that when he wrote it.
Get that for me, Jack.
Oh, this main man Sam
Yeah.
R coming at us. Uh, when that uncle come to the barbecue uninvited, talking about, did you see that Thursday night throwdown? And Auntie look at him like, you ain't getting the plate, man. Take your ass back out of where you came from. He said, not calling Ryder Unk, just a just a continuation of the theme, the cookout theme that Midnight Rider was throwing out there, y'all. So yeah,
Nah,
good one. This cookout time right here, boy. If you don't go to cookout in the next 4 days, you're a buster. You're a buster. You don't go to a cookout in the next 4 days. You can pull over on the side of the road, go into your uncle's house, and find a cookout.
right.
This is cookout weekend, especially when the 4th is on a Friday or a Monday. Woohoo, cookie. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's a good one this year. And I don't do much. We don't got much plans for it. We probably, you see the fireworks from right across the street on the water. It's pretty cool.
Right.
Uh, Cookouts are all around me, dude. I used to always have a cookout, but my people had a hard time getting down here because of other cookouts that are going on my street. And they
Right.
told me that when I bought this house. 4th of July, you got to go to the store, go in the morning, they told me. So, yeah, it's pretty fun down here, 4th of July.
We got James King in the building. Hold on. Uh
JK,
yeah. Damn, James. I didn't know if that was ready to be talked about, but yeah. So let me start the show
go.
a little differently. I mean, we're not starting the show, but today I was hit with news. The guy that I grew up around, he was kind of like the guy that taught me a lot of things when I was growing up. He was at my church we had, and I don't know if anybody else is Catholic, but our altar boys, we all had like certain masses we did. And then the dude would just graduate out. When he graduated either high school or whatever, the next kid would come in. So the guy that he's saying rest in peace to is Kevin Chase. And Kev was the guy, Saturday night, 6:30, mass. He was man. And then I came along and I was like I was the next person to step in and take on the lineage. And Kev was a good dude. I know he got more involved with church when he got into I know he's doing like videography for a church and things of that nature. So I guess he went in the hospital last night. This morning he passed away. Um I was kind of battling on how much to talk about it because I didn't know. I didn't see much in the internet. So I was going to wait, but if James King's saying it, I'll go ahead and go with it.
Okay.
Rest in
Well,
peace, Kevin Chase, man. Good
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
real good dude.
Sorry for your loss, fellas. Godspeed.
Make make sure you wrap them onions in aluminum foil and throw some banana peppers on the grill. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
Sam R. Hold on. Give me a second here.
Yes, sir. I like the sand smoking there.
Now, what you do if you in the mid, depending on what you got. If you got fish, you create a aluminum foil pocket with the fish. You throw your peppers and onions in. You put a piece of butter and you put a piece of ice, and you seal that joint tight, and you just let it cook like that. Like it's almost like it's a baked
20
potato.
minutes. 20 minutes.
Dog, best eating you gonna have.
Yeah, I do that. I do pouches.
Yep, I love
The
pouches.
key to what you did though is throwing that ice cube in there. People don't know that. They come with some dry vegetables stuck to their aluminum foil. See? They don't know that. Ice cube trick. Go on, buddy.
Dude, I use ice cube and everything. Like I'll bake chicken in my oven and I'll throw 2 ice cubes in it just to help keep it moist. The same thing with my salmon.
True.
Yeah. Hold on.
Now, come on now. I had grilled fish
Whoa.
today for lunch.
Fish don't go
Boy,
in the grill, man.
you ain't ate it right.
Yeah, you living wrong. Jesus.
Some of that, you get some of that pineapple or mango
Hey, you must be
glaze
you
on
and
that
James
thing.
King. You and James King on the same page.
There he is. Oh, man. Mm,
Grease them barbecue grits with peanut butter.
never heard of that.
Yeah. Mm.
I just rub olive oil on them. Yeah, you gotta be careful with the fish. You gotta be careful what kind of fish. Not all
Right.
fish can be grilled. It
Right.
will stick like crazy glue. The best thing to do with that is do a pouch.
That's why I do
That's what I
both.
do with my rockfish. I put my rockfish in a pouch, and I first I hit it with some lemon pepper. Then I
Right.
put packs of butter all over it. Then I put onions on top of it, like onion slices,
Mhm.
pop, pop, pop. And then I put what else I put on it? Oh, some bacon. Run some bacon across it, and then drizzle it with some water. Wrap it up. 20 minutes, man. You got some banging rockfish.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some fish recipes, man. That's my people used to catch it, and that's what was for dinner that night at the beach house. Yeah,
KG, before we go,
we always talking about food, ain't
right.
we? I ain't even said a word about sports yet.
KG, save us.
All right, fellas, we talked about this on Tuesday. Look, when Jack said put bacon on, I was getting ready to say something. He said bacon. I said, let me sit back and see where he's going with this. I like where he went with that. But,
Oh,
just to add my 2 cents in that, if you can get a glaze with a couple of bacon bits in it, like
mm,
a mango glaze on your salmon with a little bit of bacon bits in it, oh, my God. Mm. But
yeah,
we
I
talked
can
about
see that.
NBA signs. I want to hear what you guys got to say. I was talking to the boss BJ on Tuesday, and we were talking about just the money that's being thrown around. Um, Miles Turner got $107 million. We were talking about that, and if you guys can pull up the signings list so far, just your thoughts on just the money being thrown around and who's going where. I just wanted to hear you guys' thoughts about it because I haven't had you guys' opinion in a while, and I would love to hear it.
Well,
What, what you want?
you go ahead and start, Jack. You start.
You think so?
Yeah, you go.
Man, it's been crazy since the free agency opened up. It's been crazy nuts, and I couldn't have picked a better time to start feeling better, man. Because I'm telling you, I paid no attention to TV, sports, and nothing. The stuff that's been happening. I mean, Shy Alexander getting locked up for a new big contract, 285 mil. That's sick. It isn't a surprise at all. Uh, Lock that team down, keep the numbers right, and you might got some trouble. Miles Turner. That's a good pickup, man. I mean, shoot, let Dame go, pick up Turner. I mean, what do you owe Dame? He owe Dame 42 mil, but
Nah,
I like,
Dame was a smart move
but
because you didn't have
oh
him the rest
yeah,
of this year. He's probably sitting out either the whole season or he comes back like in March or April. Right?
mm-hmm,
How does
mm-hmm,
that benefit you with 53 million sitting on your cap and you can't do anything else? So they did the stretch and extend or whatever they call it.
mm-hmm.
They got the financial flexibility, allows you to sign Turner because I think keeping Dame, I'm sorry, letting go of Dame allows you to keep Giannis because I think
Yes,
Giannis would have
yes.
asked for a trade.
Nah, I mean, I think Giannis is a little happier with what's coming his way. I mean, Milwaukee is trying to do something. They got what 2 nice draft picks that came in to work out. So I can't believe that James averaged almost 25 points a game this year. I didn't see it. I tell you, he ain't never do it when he was on my parlay. Shit. So I
That's
think
how we get traded,
Milwaukee's
Jack.
doing. Yeah,
That's
I
how we get
think
traded.
Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee's doing fine with what they're doing. It's not a win this year or else strategy or nothing. But I like it. I like it. I mean, you got Turner and Lopez on the court. You got two glass cleaners. You got two rim protectors, and you got
No, no,
two
no.
good 3-point
So,
shooters.
so that's what they did. They did the exchange. Lopez left. Turner came
Oh,
in. Yeah.
so Lopez is over. I mean, Lopez is over Indiana now.
Nah, Lopez is
Oh, it's a multi-team trade.
he in the wait. No, he in the West. It wasn't a trade. He was a free agent. Um, I think he's in like
Lopez left Milwaukee.
huh?
Lopez left Milwaukee on his
Yeah.
own, or they let him go.
Nah, he was a free agent.
I don't think he's going to grab no good money, no
No, he
ways.
did. He actually grabbed some money. Hold on.
All right, yeah. What I'm looking at doesn't have money or how many teams were in it. I'm kind of just blowing by something that I remember the names that was involved. So excuse me for that.
No, you good, brother.
I like what Milwaukee's doing. I do. It's is it win this year? Not really. Well, but it's still time to make moves. You know.
I
So
think he's. I think he's with the Clippers. I think he's in the Clippers.
all right, that sounds all right. And then and the Bucks also picked up Gary Harris on a little 2-year deal. I think that was a cheap pickup for a role player, backup player.
Right.
It's not like Milwaukee's not doing nothing.
Now they're getting
Uh,
younger and they're getting themselves some
yes,
options.
they're shaking and moving.
Right.
And then I
And
got
Gary Harris is a
yeah,
good functional guard, plays decent defense, so it helps.
hmm that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Gary Harris is just a solid player. He can give you them minutes so your players can get some rest on the bench, and you don't have to really worry about them. Uh, I like Schroeder going to Sacramento. I'm a big Dennis Schroeder fan. In some ways, he reminds me of Rondo.
I can see that.
Uh,
Never that. No, look. I had
I'm
to
No, no,
chime
no.
in
done.
on
He's
that
a
one. Never that.
No, 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 I'm not.
no,
I'm
hold
not
on, hold
done.
on, hold
I'm
on.
not done. Rondo is a 2, 3 steps ahead now. I'm not saying he's on the same shelf as Rondo, but as far as lanky, long little guard that can run an offense, that's where I compare him to Rondo. Is that
He's not
okay?
right. He's a Timu Rondo.
I bet.
Exactly.
So I
Modern
like
day
that in
Rondo.
Sacramento.
Like
All
you buy that Rondo at Ross.
right. Timu Rondo Bomber. Okay, I'll give you that. I just don't. I think this is good for Schroeder because he didn't leave money on the table this year. So I think this is a good signing. What
Right.
3 years, $45 million. He finally got that good contract. So
So KG, it's
Yeah.
funny you even brought this up because my my memories the last 3 days is all about me complaining about guys getting paid, how much they're getting paid, what they've done and what they haven't done to get paid. And it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, with Schroeder, I think this might be his last big deal. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
I know
yeah.
45 ain't large in charge or nothing, but I think this is his last multi-year
Yeah.
deal. After those are up, I think he's going to be 1-year shots for the rest of his career, in which I still think he can play and help a squad 5 years from now, barring
Yeah.
injury. So uh, good for him, good for him. He's been around a while. Who else making some moves?
Well, this
Uh,
KD thing is kind of interesting
yeah, very much so.
because it could turn into like a 7-team or 8-team trade because teams
Yeah.
are trying to latch on smooth of the parts in this deal. So this could be a
Mhm.
record trade happening when it's all said and done. I guess that's kind of the reason why the NBA waits that time frame to start their new year.
So what do you think is going to happen here? What are you talking about? Tell me, speak to me, Goose.
No, so it's like there's the KD deal in its original form, but what they're trying to do is latch other smaller deals onto it
Hmm.
to make everything work. So
So
that's the
you
difference.
think? But we got Durant running with a young Houston Rockets squad. What do you?
Right.
What, I think that's going to be nice. Um,
No. So
is
hold on. I'm not talking about the trade itself. What they get.
you think he's going to
I'm
be
talking
moved
about
again?
they're no. So they're adding layers to this trade. So this trade just
Hmm.
isn't
Okay.
going to be Houston and Phoenix by the time we finish. There are gonna be other teams added to it, like the last the last proposal I saw had like 7 teams involved in this trade. So that's where we're at right now.
All right, I feel you.
So
It's
it's not the trade itself; it's just the layers.
when this trade
When you think
deadline
about it,
ends. It's only like 2 weeks,
yeah.
so we got another week left. We got a little bit more than a week left. I expect to see more shit popping off, dude.
Oh yeah.
I really do. Boston is going to make another move. Lakers are going to make a move, in my opinion.
So what do you think about that? So
Uh,
the Lakers get DeAndre Ayton.
Big good pickup, great pickup, great. If they had him last year, they'd have went farther in the playoffs.
I don't know,
DeAndre would have done shit LeBron wasn't doing that LeBron should have been doing.
but DeAndre doesn't have a
Digging
motor.
the glass,
He doesn't have a motor.
man, but he can be a rebounding machine when he wants to, dude. He can give you the 20 and 20
Well,
easy.
I need him.
One of KG's guys, 2020s.
I need him to want to.
I like it. I mean, I hate Lakers, but I think
Yes, you do.
if they had got him last year, it really would have helped them because they had zero big man, zero center last year, zero. Once Big Boy went down, Youngin, what's that Youngin name? That young center Lakers got.
Uh, don't worry about it. Hey,
They threw him to the Wolves.
hey, I'm about to hit these comments. Can you read them for me when I put them up?
Yeah, what we starting? What we starting at?
Sam R.
I know, of course. Okay, I see where I'm at. Uh,
It's on the screen.
yeah, let's
The
rock
food.
and roll. Let's rock and roll. The Food Junkies Network. Now, Sam, hey, we like our food chats, man. Sam said, KG, he talking like he got 4 seconds till the light turn green. Yeah, that's how he does it, man. What's up, Perry? Perry say fans still use the 90s, early 2000s pay scale. Yeah, I think so. The 17 deal is a combo of all the other deals that have gone on. This is talking about the Houston trade. I'm pretty sure that's what you were telling me, right? Midnight Ride?
Yes. That's exactly what it is. And this
That's
is
it. Okay.
just a trick to fit deals under the books. Um, you know,
Eh,
reading this comment reminds me. And hold on. Let me get this last one in for him. Deals become official on Sunday. So
correct. Correct.
so let me go back to something. It's a thing that Michael Wilbon said
Big
many
Mike.
months ago on It was on Pardon the Interruption. It was during one of the lockouts. And I think he made one of the greatest points that you could make about the sports industry and the way we manage sports. So he said that basically what's about to happen is there's a bunch of owners paying lawyers millions and millions of dollars, rules in place. And then in a couple months, those same owners want to pay a bunch of lawyers millions and millions of dollars to work around the rules that they put in place. And I think that's what we're seeing here. I think this is what this whole 17 deal is about. We're putting rules in place and making things happen. And it's just easy money. You know? I think the one thing that's
I agree
down with this free agency market is players aren't as free as we think anymore. Because most of the time, if it's your star player, you're just signing them to the max deal and moving on. Like the NBA free agency period is the greatest waste of money I've ever seen in my life. Like there are guys that are making like 10 million, but they're the 13th guy on the bench. It's crazy. Crazy. Can't believe it. Don't believe it.
I'm with you.
Let me jump in on that because what Perry said about thinking fans still using the 90s to early 2000s pay scale, that is absolute truth because I can't wrap my mind around a guy that averaged 15 points getting $107 million. Though, you're supposed to get a $35 million contract over 6 years. You're not supposed to make $100 million. Like, you're not $100 million man. You know, but I felt this way since Jason Caffey got that money from Milwaukee in '98, and I was like, "Young, y'all paid Jason Caffey what?"
Dude, that's my annual post. My annual post is on Facebook. This is when we overpay everybody in the NBA, and that's what's happening. We got dudes that average like 4 points a game, getting 10 million a year. I ain't mad at them. But I can't do it. Won't do it. Can't win with them. So I don't know. Where else you want to go, KG?
Well, let me ask you these gentlemen this question on NBA. And Perry said 100 million today is not what 100 million was 20 years ago.
Hell yeah.
And I agree with that, Perry. You're absolutely right. But is there a signing that stood out to you in the last couple of days so far? The Ayton signing stood out to me because I'm like, which DeAndre Ayton are you getting? It's like, who are you getting? But is there a signing that stood out to you guys that you actually liked or one that you even disliked?
That I liked or disliked? Because of the money? To be honest, it's not that a lot that I like because these dudes just are getting money that they don't deserve. Like, we're paying guys, paying mid-level guys elite money. And that's the part that's bothering me. Like, that's why I don't understand the NBA cap and like how we have this second apron and how all this stuff works. Because every contract is like the max. Like, you give every guy the max of whatever he can get. How does that fit in the thing? Are you getting exemptions because they signed the max to stay with the team? You know what I'm saying? So that's the struggle for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can pay somebody 25 mil a year for 14.5 points a season, 3 rebounds, but what is that really getting us? And that's the part that I just don't get. Like the numbers and the money don't make sense for the production.
Mm-hmm.
We paying average guys elite money.
All right.
That's how it is, man. That's how it is when you got $250 million super max shit. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
average guy's gonna get 40 million.
even the SGA deal doesn't make sense. We're talking about 73 million.
Right.
How does that? How does
That's what
that
it
make?
is, man. I'm telling you.
How does that work under the cap?
I'm telling you, man. You're talking about this 70 million. I mean, look what happened in baseball, man. You got Otani 700 million. Then you got oh shoot, what's his name? Who just re-signed 300 something million? Baseball is going to be the first one to hit the $1 billion contract. So what's it going to be then? Scrubs get paid 100 million?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to be ridiculous from here on out. So there's no way to reel this back in. It's already spooled out. Is what I say. I know it. I know it. Lights your fire and gets you fired up, but that's what it is, man. It's not going to go down. Scrubs are getting paid 40 mil.
Yeah. I mean, Perry
Huh.
says the media. That's what the media deals do to salaries. They explode them. I get it.
Mhm.
It's not elite money. Well, it is, but it's just
It used to
not
be.
now. It used to be
Mm,
elite. There you go.
correct. Correct.
And he says, I'll come on and explain it one day. Okay.
I understand. I understand,
I
though.
didn't get it, but I still would love that conversation because
It
this is
is what it is. I'm sorry. They say like this: it is what it is, but it isn't what it used to be.
there you go. There you
Period.
go.
Period. So
KG, where you gonna take us next on the Starship?
Well, next up, fellas, is WNBA expansion.
Okay.
Uh, Come on. I'm trying to get it there, but I can't get it. But WNBA expansion. WNBA is going to expand to three new cities. Well, one new city and two old cities. Cleveland, Detroit, and come on, I can't think of the last city. Of course, I'm blanking.
Isn't another old
But they
city?
got three new cities that they're expanding to, and I want to hear you guys' feelings on that.
Hold on 1 second. Go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry. Oh,
what was that you wanted to hear? Go ahead.
NBA WNBA expansion. It's Cleveland, Detroit, and I can't think of the third city.
That's what I'm looking for. I don't see it.
But it's a regular city because they complained about not being one of the cities they wanted.
Got you. Now, if you want to run on it, I'll look into that.
No,
While
I
you're
got it.
running with it.
It's Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia.
Ah, shit. Okay. So what y'all want to know about that?
So the problem is, I think KG is referring to the the other night. The other night they talked about Sophia Cunningham wanting, I think Nashville and another city instead of Cleveland, Philly, and Detroit. But I think the thing that she doesn't get is Cleveland, Philly, and Detroit are big markets. Nashville isn't a big market. If we had to put market against market,
Hold on. Nashville is a big market, but it's not a big market for pro sports.
right? That's what I'm saying. Come on, man. I'm with you. I'm with you on this. Excuse
Mm-hmm.
me. And I think that's the issue that I get what Cunningham is saying, because Cunningham wants them to be in certain locations that maybe, they can have a little fun. They can have a night when it's the night they got to stay over. You got some entertainment. I get that. That's like teams wanting to go to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
spend
yeah.
some time in Vegas and get that extra night, or you want to go to New York and you get that night
Go
off
South
the next
Beach.
day, and you can go
Mm-hmm.
or South Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I get that, and I actually
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
thought Miami might have been an option, but
But Miami was an option once before, and that team failed because nobody came out to support it. Now I understand what the WNBA is doing with this, with these new expansions. I understand what they're doing because they're going back to a city in Detroit that has uh, 3 championships with their team. You're going back to Cleveland, where one of the original teams were the Cleveland Rockers. So you're going back into cities that you've already been in. Now you're expanding to Philly, and oh well, that's not good. They're going to bring back the Houston Comets. They're going to bring back Orlando. There's a lot of teams that they're going to bring back, but it has to get to that point. Her comments
Right.
are very, very negative, and I felt that they were wrong and they were divisive. You shouldn't be saying something like that when you're trying to grow the league. That's just my opinion.
Correct. 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 And I got these comments right here, a portion of these comments, and I'm getting caught up a little bit. Yeah, what she said is nuts. I mean, yeah, she is a 7-year vet. It ain't like she just bumped in the league or nothing. But to say, hey, you want to listen to your players too. Where do they want to play? Where are they going to get excited to play and draw fans? I do think that Miami would have been great. Nashville is an amazing city. Kansas City is an amazing opportunity. I'm not so sure that thought process here, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're not expanding our league too fast. I think that that's also another thing. It's kind of hard decision making. It's kind of hard decision making situation, but man, I don't know how excited people are going to be to play in Detroit or Cleveland. Um, I've been to both cities. And yeah, out of the two, I'd take Cleveland. Uh, but it's been a while since I've been to Detroit, man. Shit, 20 years. Um, they're both great sports towns. So I think she's full of crap, and I think she's out of line for stepping up and talking that. But everybody has the right to speak their own opinion in today's world. So I guess she's not out of line.
so
I just,
the only reason I disagree with her being out of line is because they're in a space right now where everything's up in the air, and
yeah, but you don't want to
NBA.
shake the water. Sorry.
The problem is, no, you good, Jack. The WNBA is in a spot where they don't have a collective bargaining agreement. So
Mm-hmm.
that's important. So you don't even know
Mm-hmm.
like doing what your rules are, with what's the salary cap implications. All of these things are just up in the air right now. So I can understand her what's the word I want to use?
Concerns?
There you go. That's the best word, concerns.
I mean,
And, and
if
I
she
get
don't,
it because as a player, maybe you want to go to Nashville, hang out, drink in the bars, whatever, have a good time. You might want to go to Miami, lay out on the beach on your day off, have a good time. I get all of that.
hmm hmm
But I think the teams they picked were in cities where they had success.
success. Yep, yep, yep.
So let's take that and move on. Because the names
hmm
or the nicknames are all different now.
I
It's
don't even
not
know what
like
they are.
Free Shot.
But let me throw this out. And the people of Detroit said that they would love the Shock name to come back. They would
Ain't
love
happening.
another iteration of the Shock because they love their
Yep.
team. But saying that you got to listen to your players, no, you got to listen to what the people say. Players
Right.
can say what they want to play all day long. You talking about Tennessee, and I said this on Tuesday. Nashville, Tennessee, women's basketball belongs to the Tennessee Volunteers.
But
That's what that
That's a
belongs
beautiful.
to.
okay, G. Because there was a team. There was a proposed team to be in Nashville. They were called the Tennessee Summits after
Huh?
Pat
Really?
Summit. Yeah.
Wow.
They
Didn't know
had a
that.
they had a bid in. So the problem, I guess, was I don't know if it was with their bid, their structure, but they were in the mix.
Okay.
So so you can't just say, oh, they didn't consider them. But you got to think about
Hmm.
it. What was the situation around the bill? Did they do something else? Did they have something that maybe didn't work? Was it the financials or whatever? But Tennessee was in the mix. And it was all going to be about Pat Summit and dedicating something to Pat. Hey, Jack, um,
Sir.
you mind reading something for me?
No.
All right,
What you
let's
got?
see this.
Comment?
How many years is it?
7.
Okay.
Otani. Otani's deal was 7. 7 years. Almost 100% positive. I would double check. What
Yo,
else you got?
he said, Ryder missing them old Eddie Jones salary days. I'm going to tell you right now, Sam, I will never, ever, in the words of Chris Jericho, ever miss Eddie Jones. So,
Yeah.
all good.
Hey, where we at?
Perry
The,
says a
Otani,
colonial
the,
English.
the Otani thing is 10 years. I apologize, Perry.
No,
It's 10-year deal on the Otani. So, before we leave WNBA, I gotta throw some flowers, man. Uh,
knock yourself out, man. Let's go.
the Seattle Storm have honored Sue Bird.
Okay.
21-year ball player. I know KG know all about some Sue Bird. She's a legend. So she is the first player to be honored with a statue by a WNBA franchise, and I thought that was very cool. I didn't think there's many girls that were more fitting. I would
Right.
have thought like a Cheryl Swoops or somebody might have got one, but nobody had the success that Bird had in the pros WNBA, or as they call it in the W. She's had success her whole life. One of the greatest basketball players, female or male, that I know of, Sue Bird. So big ups to her. She's getting
And
that dedicated. Go ahead.
I agree with you 1,000% there, Jack. Uh,
Yeah.
UConn Husky, great career. Like when I tell you one of the best,
Mhm.
said something about Cheryl Swoops. It's a couple of ladies that deserve statues. Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops,
Yeah.
Rebecca Lobo, Tina Thompson,
Mm.
Kim Perrott.
Bingo.
They deserve statues. I knew it. I said it because I had to get it in a week. I knew it. I had to do it.
I think
I
I
had to
think
do it.
Taurasi will get one in about 5 years. Diana Taurasi will get one.
I think Tarasi's one. I think Spoops and Cynthia Cooper,
Philip.
some version are worthy of one. Um, I'm not even addressing another thing that we talked about that he mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not giving that
All
life.
right.
So let's hop out of this little basketball thing.
But no, hold on. Before we do that, let me ask you, gentlemen, a question. Before
Oh,
sticking with the
that's right.
WNBA,
I forgot about this.
Just ask you this question. And with the way that you said something about the CBA, they're working on their CBA now, and they're saying we want our fair share and everything. I said it Tuesday about Kelsey Plum and her telling the guy that was waiting outside
Mhm.
for her autograph that he was acting weird for asking her for an autograph. And my question is, and I'm not putting any input, I'm gonna hang up and listen because I want to hear from you guys. Is the WNBA players injecting poison into their own league to the point where it's starting to become a turnoff to fans with the way that they're acting, the things that they're saying in the media, all of those things? Is that becoming a turnoff? And I got a couple more examples if you need them. Thanks for taking my call. I'll hang up and listen.
I'm gonna say not yet, but that's because they're not comfortable with the success that the league is having. They don't know what the success
Uh,
is. I'm dead serious, Jack. I mean, I know you saying but
they're
I
not
know about
comfortable, but they know it's growing. They're not comfortable, but they know it's happening.
right,
All
right,
I'm saying,
right,
they're
right,
aware of it, bro, and they're ready to ride this wave like that. You know what I'm saying?
right. They want the money that comes with it, but
Come on,
they don't want the people and
attention.
the attention that comes with it. So they have to be careful and kind of dot this I in the right place. And I think that's an interesting piece when it comes down to how they allow themselves to be integrated into this space of being a superstar, being a star athlete. And we can't just presume these things. And it's even great that KG asked this question because I think they're in between CBA agreements right now. So this year they can finish the season and have a whole different CBA going into
They
next year.
can strike. They can strike.
They can do a whole bunch of stuff.
There's a bunch of options, no doubt. They can do what they want for a minute. Yeah, this is
And
a good time for the players.
I think it's a bad time for the players
I think so. I think they
because
got a little more pull.
I think they're going to ask for too much
Okay.
and not be cognizant of what they have. Like
All right.
you can't make malt liquor money trying to buy Hennessy. Like you can't say pay me Hennessy money, but all we make is malt liquor money.
There you go. That's better.
If that makes sense.
Nah, the second one was perfect. But
Like you can't have
most
you can't have a Coke 45 budget, but go in the store and ask the man for Patron.
yeah, nah, that's me. Champagne taste, beer money. That's
There you
me all
go.
day. Um, but what's happening now, and it started in the NBA probably 10 years ago, maybe 12-ish. Most of the stars are talking now,
Right,
you know, and
right,
I'm not trying to sound like an old man, but the stars in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, they was down for business. You had cheerleaders, you had your ML cars, and people from back then know what I'm talking about. ML car, he gonna be
mhm,
swinging the towel, jumping up and down. But these stars, they just go out there, put in work, and go do their thing. Now everybody want to run their mouth, in my opinion, and I think that's bad for the game, NBA and WNBA. As far as what that gal did about the autographs and the older gentleman. And I'm an older gentleman myself. And my childhood, and probably the gentleman that asked that gal for the autograph was, we got autographs from the players, from them. So I remember which autograph I got where.
right,
But nowadays, these cats do shows. They do autograph shows and get paid for it. So they fuck around, they mess around, find out, and say, "Oh yeah, I ain't just signing random cat stuff no more." And then they say he creeped me out a little bit. Well, that's the younger people being creeped out by older
right,
people, and they think some older people are ready to sell their autographs. You
right.
know, I've been a lifetime. I think I got my first autograph when I was 7, and I still have it. And then, going down and trying to match up games with Bryce Harper when he was in the minors. I had 4 opportunities. All four of them, man, he just skipped me. He just skipped me all 4 times, man, because I was an older gentleman. And there was a bunch of gentlemen there with boxes of balls trying to get paid by a Harper signature here and there. And here was me, a true fan, trying to add it next to, Pete Rose. Bryce
Right.
Harper, Pete Rose. That's his, idol too. So I think that's bullshit, but they're doing signings now, man. They're getting paid to
Well,
go sit down at a folding table in a folding chair. Monk Wells is our guy. He
I
just
was
had
about
a
to
big
say,
show. He had Joe Theismann, John Riggins, all of them was out there. So that is taken away from a lot of the ball players signing. I think Fanatics, if any of these guys are signed with Fanatics, they're not allowed to sign. They can hit 5 or 10 of them going to the tunnel, but they're not allowed to sit down and sign a roll of autographs. Fanatics gets
right.
paid off all their autographs, and they already got broke off by Fanatics. So autograph seeking by fans has changed so much,
Yeah.
and it's the value thing. And the big thing Bryce Harper told me in that write up, he said, I ain't letting nobody make money off my signature. I said, then sign more. Sign more. One of the greatest baseball players in history. His autograph is only worth $175. And I'm talking about one Cal Ripken. You'll get a Cal Ripken authenticated autograph for $175. You know why? Because he signs a lot. So it's the monster. It's the monster of the business. And uh, memorabilia and autograph signings are now a big part of the business. And as we say, money makes the world go round. It's money, money, money. Right, Midnight
Let,
Rider?
let, let me throw this in there because it's not just the autographs; it's the social media interactions. The young
Yep.
lady, I can't remember her name. She went at Andre Iguodala because he was watching. He was out at a bar watching the game, and he was like, "Number 23 for the Wizards. She really balling." She was like, "Put some respect on my name." He was like, "I didn't know." The sound was down. Like it was just like it's mad disrespect when somebody's giving you props, and it's like, why are you being like this? We're trying to support you. We're trying to get into this, but a lot of these
You number
players are being
23?
mad disrespectful.
I agree.
I think it's the growth and the immaturity. We're still in a excuse me. You got to think about this. There's an immaturity in the growth of the league and what the standards are. Like the standard isn't the standard because we're building the standard. Excuse me again. I got the hiccups all of a sudden. Um, but when you're being a team, you don't know the growing pains. Like it's like when you're when you're 5'8" and you grow up to be 6'3", you don't understand those growing pains, those pains in your knees in that process.
Hmm.
And I think that's what we're running into is these players don't understand the process. Yeah. Good God Almighty! I don't know why I got hiccups all of a
See,
sudden.
I know why you got the hiccups. You
Look,
got the
look,
hiccups because you're telling the truth.
look. Look here, Linda. Look here, Linda. Let me intervene here. I was watching something the other day, and I think KG might have brought it up. I've been tuning in as much as I can the last week or two, but these players now are different, and it's not different the way they run offense, shoot threes all the time, or it's not different the way they play defense. It's different how they prepare.
Right.
They don't. I was watching some of the old heads the other day on their podcast. I can't remember which one it was, but they were talking about, we going out and we're gonna do an hour and a half of drills and training and stuff, and then we're gonna go ahead and run a little bit. So we're probably gonna get 4 or 5 hours practice, and then we're gonna work out for an hour and a half, 2 hours, then we're gonna run for three. And then they're like, these kids now, they come into the workout. They got they got a shooting coach and they got a running coach. You know what I'm saying? They got their coaches with them, their own coaches. Some NBA teams got policies on that, but a lot of these cats still bringing their coaches with them. They go to the court. They got 2 or 3 racks of balls. Like I said, they got two coaches. They put their shots up, and they done. They done for the day in an hour. Did no running, did no defense. They got shots up. That's how these kids train and prepare now. And being around just the same people, some of these kids have had these shooting coaches since they were 10, 15. And now here they are, 20-year-olds. And it's a different way to come into a team sport by doing all this individual work the way they do it now. So I think they don't know how to be a good teammate. I don't know. I tried to diagnose it as much as I could.
No, it's funny you say that because you must have been listening to your boys, KG and Paul Pierce, because they literally had this argument the other day.
That's who it was.
I get to this conversation without hiccuping as much as I can. I don't know why I got a case of hiccups tonight. I can finally talk, but I can't talk without hiccups. But here we go again. Maybe that's my bad boy, my P Diddy moment. I don't know. Without the baby oil in there.
But I'm gonna tell you something, fellas. Jock, what you said is absolutely true. And combined, between all of us, we got well over 150 years of experience in sports. We got, it's a lot of us. So we got experience in sports. So we watched the game change. We watched sports change, sports entertainment. We watched it all change. But nobody grinds anymore. And that's what I was saying on Tuesday. They don't have a love for the game. They don't love the game to the point where you gotta have it in your veins. Like, give it to me now, or don't give it to me at all. Melanie Fiona, whatever happened to her. But I
hear you, but I think there's a way to prepare, and I think sometimes everybody isn't open to the ability to prepare the way you're supposed to prepare.
Well, look here, guys. Let's let KG answer. We got Anthony on here. He gave KG a little bang of questions, and he'd like to hear a quick input of what KG says about it. Do you see Anthony's comment here? KG, it's right here. This is the first one. The mentality is different because of social media. These kids grew up having their highlight tapes being put on social media to get recruited, and also the NIL has changed as well. His second question, or I should say comment to question, he said, I think the NIL is going to change even more for the worse because these kids are already going to be coming into the pros demanding money because of NIL deals they got in college. Yes, we agree about that. We spoke of that a couple weeks ago, Anthony. Spot on for that one. And then KG, what are your thoughts on my last three comments? I didn't see the first one, so let's go with them too. The mentality is different because of social media and whatnot. What do you think about social media's effect on this, KG?
I think social media is a brain rot, because I said it Tuesday night. I said, you got guys you making mixtapes for guys. Julian Newman. If you don't know who I'm talking about, go look at Julian Newman's AAU tapes or his AAU videos. They don't use tapes anymore. So his AAU clips. And everybody's like, oh man, this boy gonna be the next thing in the NCAA. I was like, the boy's a bum. He makes a bunch of dumb movements and he doesn't go anywhere. He has this dumb move. He shovels his feet.
Newman is your Eddie Jones.
No.
Hold on. Let me say it correctly. Hold on. I'm sorry. I said that wrong. No.
Hold on.
He's the guy that I get it. But we also know Julian Newman, from a size standpoint, unless he grew, he was not going to be the player that was going to make an impact on the level. And I guess he shot his shot in his early years, and now he can't be in a thing because he didn't grow anymore. And I get that you like. I get it. The kid doesn't play basketball the way you expect, and I get everything that you're saying, but yeah, I think he's not the best example
Well,
of
I say
this
him
thing.
because everybody bigged him up to be this. He's an AAU star, and they bigged him up to be this, and they bigged him up to be that. I was like, he has no fundamental foundation. If he had a fundamental foundation, maybe we could talk. But he does not have a fundamental foundation. And
Do
with
you
that
know his
being
name?
said,
Do you know his name?
with, huh?
Do you know his name?
Yes, I know his name because when I see it in the caption, I make sure I skip the video and ban the person that posted it. Because I'm like, yo, you hyping this kid up and he's a bum. He has
But that's not the thing. The thing is now clicks.
Say my name. Say my name.
Say it again, Jack.
Say my name.
but to that Anthony, yes, I do
The
think
world we
social
live in
media is
right
a
now.
problem. But that's the world
Okay.
we're in. We're in a cyber age right now. Everything's about clicks and going viral. And if somebody, like I seen a kid have a dunk. He didn't even dunk. He just kind of threw the ball in, and they was like, "Oh man, he gonna be the next big thing." Because he dunked the ball. Let me see a full game from him. Let me see what his reaction is when he's sitting on the bench and he just got taken out the game. Let me see what he looks like. Let me see what his body language is before you start calling him the next big thing. Just because you can put a ball through a hoop one time, you're not the next big thing. And unfortunately, the
All
only
right.
next big thing that I
All right.
acknowledge is Brock Lesnar. That's the next big thing. But what we're not going to do is keep tagging these kids as to being these great players, but then when they face some stiff competition, they get locked up and they don't know what to do because they don't have a quote unquote bag, as you call it. So
That's
yeah,
a
and social
bag.
media ruins that because even your best kept secrets aren't best kept secrets anymore. I would rather my son be the best kept secret coming out of whatever area we lived in rather than being hyped up because I want my kids to remain humble. I don't want them to get a big head because your clips are all over social media. Social media ruins a lot.
I agree.
Because number one, you're only getting a small morsel. You're getting a sound bite, a clip. You're getting a 10-second clip, and you're supposed to judge somebody off of that 10-second clip. If you had 10-second clips of every sports moment I've ever had in my life, I'd be the greatest thing since the egg white omelet.
So
I've had a lot of
Crazy.
spectacular catches, but I've had a lot of losses in this life too.
hey, we at the hour and 3 minute mark. We see the
Hey, G
comments.
Chocolate.
We see the comments, but we're gonna have to move past because we got to get through the end of the show
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
got some other stuff we gotta get to. So don't feel like we're disrespecting your comments right now. Excuse my hiccups, but we got to move on because we got to talk about Wimbledon and and the MLB. So let's go ahead and hit those real quick. Jack, I think you had something for for Wimbledon.
Ah, man, Wimbledon's been something, man. A lot
A
of
lot of upsets.
upsets.
A lot of upsets.
I want to say, first time. I'm not sure if it's first time ever, but it's first time in a good minute that two of the top three women seeds went out early.
Yep. Yep.
Um, it's been some battles on the men's side. Uh, Coco Golf got knocked out early. For the
Yep.
women, it's been a nice, exciting run. That's what Fourth of July means to me as well. Fourth of July is Wimbledon. My family grew up, and I wasn't a big tennis player, but my cousins were, and we always went to my cousin's house over there by Fletcher's Field off Kenilworth Avenue to have a Fourth of July cookout, and right across from their house, Fletcher's Field, the tennis courts, the basketball courts. So we were always having a full day when we went to Fourth of July at my Uncle Fred's house, and we would get in there and watch Wimbledon, and then my cousins would beef over who's the better tennis player. They hop the fence and go over to the tennis courts. And then when it gets nighttime, we climb the pole at the tennis courts and turn the lights to the grass. Then we play football. Now we played three or four sports in one day when we used to do that. So I like Wimbledon. It always means Fourth of July to me. So I'm trying to pull it up. I've been talking so much I didn't pull it up.
No, I think the difference is the women's has been taken out because there's a lot of women that have been upset early,
Yeah,
um,
definitely,
especially the American women. On the men's side,
definitely that.
there's been some ups and downs, but but the problem is this is the third tournament of the majors, and sometimes you get
Right.
that little lax moment where guys kind of settle in, excuse me, and they're not as intense. They're probably taking a little relax. They get a little lax in the moments of the whole thing. So
They can get lax, and when you get lax, that's when you tend to get beat by the
right,
176 ranked dude or
right,
178 ranked woman, and that happens in majors. For the Americans, what's his first name? Fritz, Tyler Fritz.
yeah,
Mr. Fitz, he's got a nice match today. He's going to be playing a 26 ranked player. Only one of the only matchups on the men's side, I believe, where ranked players are playing each other. So I take that back. A guy Kabali and Mensick are going together. That's number 22 against number 15. But other than that, the rest of the big wigs, Center's he coached through 3 sets, bang dude out, 6-1, 6-1, 6-3. That's pretty bad. I'd love to see the time on that one, dude. Coco Golf, she got beat bad, dude. It was 2 sets down in like an
yeah. She was
hour.
still, yeah, yep,
She was she was toasted. But women, I don't have, oh here it goes. Let me see what the women's. There's some hot action going on over in the women's, and that's the thing about women's tennis right now, fellas. It's pretty wide open, and I think we said that before the Open, the U.S. Open. I think we mentioned that the women's side is wide open. I got to get some numbers and see how many different winners they've had in the past couple of years of the
not
majors and
so
the regular
so
tournaments.
so. What's the girl? The Russian girl that lost to Coco in the French. She won the U.S. She won the U.S. Open and the Australian.
Okay, I mean
So,
that's
but the
different though. I mean,
women moves around.
it does. It really does.
It really
There's a lot
does.
of ranked girls going against each other this week. I see it. I mean, I see a bunch. So it's gonna be up for say top 10 player may win the Wimbledon this year for the women because of these early exits by the number what 2 and 3 I believe is what
Yeah, 2 and 3.
golf and that other
Coach
gal was
America.
listed at.
Yeah, yep.
But that's a Blanca. That's a Blanca. It's a Blanca. She's nasty, and she's up at the top, cruising through the first couple rounds like it ain't nothing but a chicken wing. You know what I mean? So that's the person to deal with right now. Is the Blanca. I think that's the girl you were talking about, didn't it, Ryder? And like I
Yeah, I
say,
totally
you
agree.
still got a
Yeah,
ways. Oh, you still got a ways to go. There's a lot of cats still in these tournaments. Uh, I mean, third round, you're looking at 18 matches at least. So Wimbledon is in full swing. You want to catch some grass court action? Check them out. They're locking down ESPN, but I'm sure Tennis Network can set you up too.
um, I don't know where we are on comments, but how does the player or players change the standard when the standard was toxic environment because of horrible coaching, mismanagement, and everything else? Well, you can't
Yeah.
really change the environment. You gotta just
Mm-hmm.
either change the coaches and hope the players fit in to the whole system, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't go ground up or nothing. You can't. So yes, I agree. It's a bitch coming into toxic situations that are already out there and probably never going to go away from certain, places.
Right.
Um, that's the nature of the beast. sucks that it's that way. I think everybody get along, everybody be much more happy.
And then Anthony also says, KG, but can you blame the kid for the competition they play, how dominant they are, because that feels unfair to the kid if he's playing and dominating the competition he's playing. Well,
That's not
I think
necessarily true.
sometimes you gotta move the kid into a place where he gets challenged as opposed to everything else.
Correct. Don't let them shine all the time.
Yeah, you
You
can't
want
let
them to
him
get
sit
down.
if he's in 16U and and he's dominating 16U. You gotta
Go
take
play
the time
18U.
to put him in 18U. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah,
Correct.
you gotta force the whole thing.
And I tell you, 15, 16U to just 2 years higher, 18U, that's night and day different ball. Night and day. I don't care how long these kids been working. You go from 15 or 16U to 18U, it's a men among boys. Not many man childs out there like LeBron and shit at 15. So it's the nature of the beast. It's all I can say. I like all your comments, Anthony, and I agree with most of them. But it's the nature of the damn beast, and ain't nothing we can do. Ain't nothing we can do.
I like to get
Yeah, Kate.
Anthony on because he asked some great questions. With
Yeah,
social
yeah.
media done the right way,
I,
it can catapult somebody's
I,
future.
yeah. I went ahead and did a little peeping on Anthony, try to find him. I think I found him on Facebook. Sent you a friend request, my man. Follow us. Follow us. It looks like you're watching us on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button. And thank you. Thank you for your support, Anthony.
Anthony also said, "Soldier breath." I think he's talking to me about my hiccups.
Don't worry, y'all. After the show, I'm gonna scare the hell out of Midnight Rider. Ooh, ooh.
No, I'm good,
Yeah.
man. By the time you scare me, it's too late now. Good God
You
Almighty.
scare me every day. You scare me every day.
So okay, I'll turn off the comments. Samar with the peace sign, and
What's
then
up,
he's saying
son?
about
Hey,
tennis.
man.
It seems like women tennis is developing potential stars, but it seems like American tennis since Pete and Andre have struggled developing players. I think you're totally right. It's not a thing about developing. I think it's just the pipeline. It's not the players.
Yeah.
It's not developing
Mm.
the players. It's the pipeline that's in place. And I think on the men's side, it's Tiafo, who's not a top tier guy, and then you got
Mhm.
everybody
Mhm.
else that's falling behind. Where you had Agassi, you had what's my man's name, Michael Chang. You had guys that would fit and
Sampras.
challenge. Yeah, Sampras.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have those
Pete
guys that would
Sampras.
and be in the
Mm-hmm.
top tier. But
I
now
tell you,
you just don't have a top tier American male. That's the problem.
true. That's true. And you identified Typho perfectly. I love the boys. I love Typho. Straight up, round the way, Riverdale. What's up, baby? That's awesome to hear that a guy from round the way is doing it up. But I just don't think he's a champion. I don't think
No,
he's a champion.
I mean, I think he had his
He
best
can
shot
slip
a couple
into
years ago.
something. Right.
A
Right.
couple years ago in the U.S. Open, whenever he was in that final, that was his best chance.
Yes, I agree. I
All right,
agree.
Zach. So we are at this point with me and my hiccups. Um,
Yeah, they killing me. Right in my
Anthony, agree
ears. Right
with
in.
you.
Right
Um,
here, bro. Right here. I got it. Right here. Like that.
MLB division leaders. Let's talk about them. Let's start. Let's go to east to west, and then east to west in
Yeah.
each conference.
East or west. All right, we're gonna do both east and then like that. Oh, east.
No,
All
no,
right, I
no, no,
got you.
no, no, no. Let's
I
go.
got you.
So let's go AL East, Central, whatever. I mean West, and then NL A East, Central West. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Excuse my language.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and take a guzzle of your juice there, your cocktail. It might help. Just keep drinking, man. If not, you get your buzz on. AL East, man. I tell you, it's got me going. It really does. Because I mean, in the pre-show, the preseason show, I'm birds and Yanks all the way fighting for the division. God damn, I knew Toronto was going to be improved, but they're looking good, man. They got a half a game lead, tied with the Yankees. The Rays have made a great jump as well. The whole division is rock tight. I heard something today with B. Mitch and who's the cat he works with? Finley.
Really? Yep.
I got to listen to yeah, I got to listen to my 105.7 today because I was in PG County. I can't get that over here where I live. I got to listen
Yeah, you gotta
to
download the Odyssey
Vinny
app.
and them. Of
Download the
course,
Odyssey
of
app.
course, of course. But they sitting here saying, it's time for Baltimore to fold it up. Let's get rid of who you can get rid of, and let's fold it up. I'm sorry. How you gonna fold it up when you're 11 back before the All-Star break? Now, if it was September and we're 11 back, fold it up. But I'm sorry, Baltimore being 11 out, and they have been playing better baseball these past 30 some days than they did from beginning on. It's a shame. People they were counting on just aren't coming through on the offensive side, and everybody knows pitching struggling over there. Cowser's, not doing much on and off. Richmond, Henderson, on and off. I'm hoping they can find it. But I think it's going to be possibly, man, a 4-team fight for the division, and two teams are going to be in the playoffs out of the AL East. So Toronto Blue Jays, man, hats off. I ain't got one on. But hats off to y'all cats for being 10 games over 500 and leading the American League East. That's what I got on the East, Midnight Rider.
I think the East is real simple. I think because Baltimore struggled, everybody else got a chance to get higher up in the rankings that they would have
Mm-hmm.
been.
Mm-hmm.
I think Baltimore lost some games that they wouldn't normally have lost in that situation, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that Baltimore is going to fight their way back in and make it respectable. But I still think that they won't make it back enough because they set themselves too far behind.
So you don't think two teams are going to come out of the AL East?
I think the two teams that might come out, to be honest with you, Jack, is the Yankees and
Mm-hmm.
the Rays.
And the Rays? Yep.
You got your
Yep.
guy. I can't forget your guy's name. And I got
Oh,
Calmonero,
oh.
the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
both like those two kids, and I think they're putting that team in place to be in
Mm-hmm.
contention. And they're pitching again. We talking about the
Mm-hmm.
team that they always can find a way to pitch, and that's why I think the Rays are going to be dangerous the whole way through.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the
Got you on
Central.
that one.
Let's talk
Well, the
about the AL.
Central, man. The Central, man. It was my kick in the ribs all last year. I ain't got nothing against the Central. I ain't got nothing against any teams in the Central. Last year it was the Cleveland Guardians. I'm like, oh my God, where they come from? This year it's the Detroit Tigers. Good Lord, what they doing, Cookie? Detroit Tigers sitting at 54-33, man. They 12 games up on the Guards, man. That's unreal right now. Uh, right now, this division is locked by Detroit, who I think KG's a big fan of. Uh, I'm blown away. Thought Kansas City would do a little better. I thought they'd be over 500 ball, Kansas City, but they still need a few things there to help the stars that they have. And the Sox are just Sox, man. They suck. They suck. So Detroit, my big surprise this year. Do I think they're going to stay? No, but they're going to probably. They might have a 15-game lead come All Star break, Midnight Riders. So it's
I'm
going to
sorry,
be hard
Jack.
to bring them
There's
back down.
there's two teams in the MLB that their pitching is elite,
You like
and
their
it's Detroit,
pitching. I know.
it's Detroit, and it's Pittsburgh. And we'll talk
Yeah.
about Pittsburgh later on when we get into it. But I think Detroit's there to stay. I think Cleveland and Kansas City figure out of who's the wild card team, because I think the Red Sox are trying to find their way a little bit. So it's gonna be interesting how we get to those wild card teams in this situation.
Okay. Well, I tell you, I like where Minnesota is,
Yeah,
even though they're what, 6 games, 5 games under 500, but they just had a tough 20 game run, man, and they got knocked down a bit in that 18-20 game run they just had. They didn't do too well. I think they're 2-8 on the 10 right now.
right.
So Minnesota is doing what I think both of us said. They're making some improvements. And like I say, Chicago's just pathetic. Let's move on
Chicago.
to the West, bro.
Yeah. So the West is what? Excuse me. Can you give me the West? Because I can't stop hiccuping.
Yeah, the West, Houston's just tearing it up over there, man. With 52 victories, 6.5 game lead over the Mariners, who are up. Wasn't sure what they were going to do. I thought the Rangers would bump them, in which they're both right there. How the Angels lose so much, I don't know, man. I thought their pitching looked decent, but
Yeah.
they continue to lose.
The
Vegas,
Angels, the Angels are just starting to hit. Like Joe Adele is starting to finally hit what they thought he was going to hit, but the
yeah.
rest has been a struggle.
All right, and I was getting at it. The Athletics, the A's, are they going Las Vegas A's? Is that what they are now?
No, I think they're just the Athletics because
I
I think
see
they're in
that. I see
Sacramento
that.
now.
Okay, I see it on the schedule. It's A's. That's it. So I'm like, why ain't calling them Vegas? All right, I
Yeah,
get that.
because they're
Go
playing
ahead.
in Sacramento, I think, for the next 2 years, and then they go
Okay.
back. They go to Vegas finally, if that's all approved.
Okay. So
And then I think
if it's approved,
the Mariners are in the mix, but it's going to be about their pitching. I think that's how
well,
they figure that part out.
you look at you look at Houston, man. They got Altuve back, and I still say he's one of the best ball players in the league. Uh, he's been on fire. Houston's been on fire. So I can't stand Houston Astros. There's many reasons. Many reasons. I mean, I haven't liked Houston Astros since Nolan Ryan last pitched for him. I know he's still associated with the program, but you start getting into the cheating and having to have asterisks next to the World Series titles. Yeah, I don't mess with you. You cheat, man. So I I think Houston's going to run away with this as long as they stay
Yeah.
healthy. Like I said, got a lot of ball to play. That's American League midnight, Robert.
Let's go. Let's go National League East.
What you got? What about National League East? I like National League East because National League is over here on the East, so I know all the teams. Phillies, man, I'll tell you, I always want them to drip and tumble and fall and burn, but they don't. Damn it. Mets are hitting the cover off the ball right now. Hitting the
Right.
cover off the ball. Uh, they're not winning right now, but they are hitting the ball. In their past 30 games, they really look tremendous. They had a little tough stretch. Uh, the Marlins are hot right now in the East.
Yeah.
Marlins nine out of the last 10. So wasn't expecting no action out of them cats. But shit, who thought the Braves was going to go down like they did? They've been up their main
Braves
man
haven't-
for a while.
The Braves haven't been healthy, so I mean that explains that.
It was
The
out.
Marlins just are hitting the ball. That's their
Hmm.
key Yeah, they're hitting the
And
ball.
Riley's tearing the ball up. Yep.
Yep. And then
So they
so
got they got
I think the Mets are 3 for their last 20, something like that. So that's why the Mets have fallen
yeah,
off.
yeah, right.
So it's
They have
essentially
had, and like I said, you go through these things in baseball, man.
right.
A bad 20 games is a bad 3 series.
Yep, that's it. And then I think the Phillies
But
are
what,
the
what,
team to
what,
beat. I think the Phillies are the team to beat, and then the
mhm.
Mets are right behind them once they get out of this little funk.
Yeah, but I tell you what, the Nats, man, they dropped a lot. They were ahead of both the Braves and the Marlins a couple weeks ago,
Yeah,
and
but you lose
the
11
Nats on
games.
5-5 out of the last 10 right now.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's their situation.
11
Is
game shot. So
yep. Go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
yeah, but Washington's still getting dap. You know what I'm saying? Washington's still getting dap. The Nationals are a young, up and coming team. Man, I learned a lot about James Wood today. First of all, I've seen it on TV. He is a big specimen. James
Yep.
Wood is a big man. He's 6'7", 270 something, 260 something. He a big man. He a Aaron Judge type dude, man. He big.
Yep. Yep.
Those guys hold bats and look like toothpicks.
Yep.
So and I also learned about James Wood. He got invited to the home run derby. That's pretty awesome. The Nats have had success in the home run derby with Bryce Harper and Juan Soto in the past. So
Yep.
I look for James Wood to do some big things, but it's in Atlanta, I believe, this year, and Atlanta's got somebody big poking balls that everybody seems to think he's going to win the home run contest. But another thing I learned about this guy, James Wood, who I haven't looked into that much, even though he's in my backyard. He just ain't with my squad. He's uh he's a very shy superstar. He's
Yes.
been good since before high school. He does not like the limelight and would rather skip it. So that's pretty awesome. Because most of these come up, man, with the chest puffed up, ready. You know what I'm saying? Ready for the limelight. So I
Yeah.
like that about James Wood. So I learned a
Yeah.
lot about him, and of course you got C.J. Abrams, All Star, great ball player, and they got some young arms. So I look for the Nationals to make some ruckus in the next year or two.
Yep. And I think the key was that Woods had the what was it? I think the last series they played, they um they walked him 4 times intentionally, which hasn't been done since Barry Bonds.
All right.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
I remember those days. Wow,
So
didn't know that
that's
either. I learned a
crazy.
lot about him.
Yeah, that says a lot about him right now and where he's at in his path. So let's go to the I guess it's the NL Central.
You got to go to the Central if you want to talk about them Cubbies. I tell you, I
Well, the
like
Cubbies
seeing
have a
the
lineup.
Cubbies winning. Huh?
The Cubbies have a lineup.
They do. They do. But I just love seeing them at the top of the division again, man. It's been a minute, and to see them run, hanging for a while. And Milwaukee, ah, damn, they're doing some things. Because I thought Cincinnati was going to be the Milwaukee right now. I really did. But Cincinnati's moving some pitches, shaking and dealing. Watch out for Cincinnati. They only 6.5 out. And like I say, it ain't even All-Star break. A lot of ball there.
Right.
Pittsburgh, 14 games out. They better than Colorado. They better than Chicago White Sox, but they're not better than anybody else. So Pittsburgh stay there with your schemes and Midnight Riders pitchers of the year. You can say all you want about Pittsburgh's pitching. It ain't gonna make up for their hitting. I mean,
So
this
you
goes
do
all the
know
way. This goes all the way back to when the Nationals started Steven Strasburg against the Pittsburgh Pirates. They picked that game and they sucked back then. So go ahead and talk about the Pirates. I don't see what you can say good about them.
So the last,
They 8-2 right now for the last 10.
yeah, exactly, and in the last 77 innings, the Pittsburgh Pirates have allowed only 5 runs in the last 77 innings, and they've
Good
scored.
for them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's their key. Their pitching is their key. So if they ever find a way to hit and hit consistently, they can find themselves back into the race for the Central.
Well, if they want to, they need to take my boy out of the lineup then, man. I'm sorry, because he ain't doing nothing for him that I have seen in games that I either laid a little scratch on or games that I might have checked out after my games were over. It's not like I'm here ready to go watch or bet on a Pittsburgh Pirates game. But
You come on,
I
McCutcheon.
believe, yeah, I think Andrew McCutcheon. Shit, he's the leading average. He's got the leading bat average on the team. What am I talking about? He's only batting 269. And he's leading the team in batting. So that tells you how bad their hitting woes are, Midnight Rider. McCutcheon got to be 35 plus.
Yeah, he is. He is. He is. So let's get to the West, and then let's
And
try to
I
get
like
to
him. All right, you got it, partner. But the West, you know what's up with the West. I ain't got to tell you nothing about them Dodgers, them World Series champion
the.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
They just doing what they do. Coast to the let's get to the playoffs and turn it on, fellas. Y'all
Yeah.
just got a 8.5 game lead, holding 55 wins right now. That's pretty nice at the break. 55, 60 wins. That's a 100 win season in the making. So Padres
Let
is
me ask you this
fighting.
question then.
Uh,
I know
obviously,
you're talking about the Dodgers,
what?
and I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
I think
Mm.
the West comes down to who's the next best team. The Giants, the Diamondbacks, or
Mm-hmm.
it's not the
Or
Rockies,
the Padres.
or the Padres. I
Padres.
think right now I think the
Mm-hmm. I
Padres
agree.
are the next best position team, but I don't know if they can hold that position.
Well, I thought Arizona too. They really started off great, but they haven't been doing lately, man. The last 20 have sucked.
Yeah,
Um,
their pitching has fell
they're
off.
they're they're almost 12. They're almost 12 games back now, and you get
Yep.
double digits at All Star break. You want it to be 10 games back. You don't want it to be 12 or 15. So I think Diamondbacks might have already shot themselves in the foot. I know I say a lot of baseball left to play. Damn, I think they blew their shot. And the Rockies, man, Jesus, they just showing up and putting on a uniform. It's
Yeah,
pathetic.
yeah. I'm not worried. I wasn't even worried about the Rockies. That's why I didn't even ask you about them.
Right. No, the Padres, they get up, they get hot and cold. They get hot and cold. Uh, Giants been the same way. Only ones that been really consistent is the Dodgers. So it's the Dodgers show is who might be able to make a wild card out of this because they do got a lot of wins. They're probably going to they're probably three of them are going to have 50 wins at the break, and that's pretty impressive. So,
Okay. All right, Jack. Is there anything else that I missed that we didn't talk about in this mix of doing the Thursday night throwdown and
well,
being
I,
go
I
ahead.
did want to bump back. I did want to bump back to Wimbledon for a minute. Okay,
Go ahead.
this is the 50th anniversary of the great Arthur Ashe winning Wimbledon, and he is still the only black man to win a Wimbledon men's title. That's very impressive. It's impressive and it's not. It's impressive that he did it when he did it. That was a tough time, but it's kind of unimpressive how no one else has joined him yet in 50
Yes,
years. You know
yes,
what I
yes, yes.
mean?
No, I totally agree.
You, you feel me?
Yeah.
It's tough. Situations like this, I try to just stay straight I don't want nobody to think I'm being racist on this or racist on that,
No,
but it's
because
just
there isn't a great thing of black tennis players, and I'm trying. I've tried my best this whole time talking about Wimbledon and not going my Gail Monfils rant
yeah,
of how much I dislike him, and so I'm trying to be good.
yeah. Well, I just wanted to bring that up. I think that's amazing history because, as I said, it wasn't a great time for black men to be succeeding or winning stuff back then.
And I
Shit,
agree.
that's about Jackie Robinson time. Maybe a few years before that with Jackie Robinson breaking. So many things are breaking barriers, and then you got even years closer, is Tiger Woods breaking the barriers and playing Augusta. So that's something that this Ash thing reminds me of. And I was, I knew what was going on when this happened 50 years ago. I'm 57, so I'm 7 years old. You're old enough to know what was happening.
We're good,
And
Jack.
I did book reports on Arthur Ashe back in the day. I did book reports on Jackie Robinson. That's how I know so much about this, and I think that's why it sticks in my mind so much. That's what I just wanted to bring up. Give Arthur Ashe his props. Uh, rest easy. Look over everybody at Wimbledon, Mr. Ashe, and that's all JC's got.
All right, so if you're in the comments and we didn't mention your comments, we apologize.
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
gotta
Thank you
gotta
guys.
get out uh, at an hour and 37 minutes. Um, we appreciate everybody and all the comments they gave us. Um, it's the gentleman Jack Carr. It's the Hiccup Boy, um, Midnight Rider, and we just here to offer you what we got. And thank you for coming out. Thank you for being here. And we'll see you on Sunday morning with the Sunday Rise. And if your comments are in the comment section and we didn't recognize it, we apologize, but we got to get out of here because
Yeah.
AG told me
Hey,
not to do overtime.
thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good
Hmm.
night. God
Thanks for
bless,
following.
and thanks for following.